Sis, 2024 is going to be the year that you're going to get everything you want because we gonna cheat. It's the manifestation mini course you didn't know you needed. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shanice, and I used to be a business consultant until I had one client hit $1 million a year in 9 months. It was completely unexplainable, besides the fact that I taught him how to shift his identity. I like to keep things simple and fast, so we're going to just jump into number one. But before we do that, please pause this video, go get a pen and a paper, and bookmark this video because I promise you this video is going to be life-changing. So number one, 4 to 5 a.m. wake-ups. So everybody tells you to wake up at 4 to 5 a.m., but nobody explains why. Waking up at 4 to 5 a.m. is what we call the in-between. We call it the in-between because this is the time that, just like the sun and the moon both exist at the same time, your conscious and subconscious mind are both very prevalent at the same time. This is very important because change only happens once you change your subconscious mind, but it's such a hard thing to change. But if you cheat and you just get up at 4 to 5 a.m., you can directly influence it with your conscious mind. Straight into number two, we are going to shock your nervous system. But before I break that part down, let me explain why this is important. Everything you want, it exists in the quantum field. But in order for you to get it, you have to transmit signals. Your nerves are what transmits the signals. So if you are in a repetitive cycle of transmitting something you don't want, you're getting circumstances that you don't want, then the first thing you're going to need to do is hard reset your nervous system. So I'm going to give you 2 ways that you can do that. One of the easiest free versions is to just get in the shower, in the last 30 to 60 seconds, turn the water ice cold. What's going to happen is your nervous system is going to completely shut down because your body is going to be concentrating on making your body back up to its core temperature. Boom, you have shocked your nervous system, and that should last you for a good 15 to 16 hours. And at that time, just take another one. If you want something that lasts a little bit longer and you got the funds, this right here is called a deprivation tank. It is going to do the same thing for you. So in a deprivation tank, you are deprived of all of your 5 senses that connect you to the 3D. Also, since there's water in there and you're floating and it's salt in it, you're going to feel like gravity doesn't exist. What this is going to do is it's going to put you back into your state of being pure consciousness, which is energy. And if you were energy, you wouldn't be having your nervous system flared up for things that you don't want. You wouldn't have a nervous system at all. So this sets you back at baseline, and this will probably last you a good 7 to 10 days. But again, this is a way that is not free. Number 3, hormone shocking. Sis, hormone shocking was probably the laziest thing I have ever done to manifest in my life. This pairs with number 2. Now that we have done a hard reset on your nervous system, we have to program it. And guess what programs your nervous system? Your hormones. So I'm not a doctor or anything, but this right here has a vibration equal to gratitude. So we're going to just put it in our body and take on this vibration. This is going to be most important to you if you have fear about taking the next step or if you are in a waiting period in your manifestation. Oh, and I also took this with vitamin D and magnesium glycinate. Less than 4 minutes into the video and we on number 4. So, musical remembrance. This is one of the easiest, most beginner-friendly things that you could do. Most of us do it inadvertently. So I'm going to explain what this is and I'm going to explain why it's important. So you are a human being made up of 80% water, or H3O, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. With that being said, what if I told you that your mind, your thoughts, and your words change the structure of water? So this is Dr. Emoto, and he discovered that water has its own consciousness. It was discovered that when certain words were spoken, it would either form sacred geometry like beautiful crystals or distorted patterns. He noticed this when he froze the water and then looked at it under his microscope. So these are the positive words, feelings, and thoughts at the top. And as you can see, they are beautiful. And then when you look at these more destructive statements, you can see the negative effect that it has on the water. And this is an experiment that you can do at home. So now that you have the background, let's get back to the musical remembrance. Rather than me sit here and explain that out, I'm going to give you an example. So back in 2012, I had bought this car and I paid cash for it because I had got my taxes. And you couldn't tell me that I wasn't rich, because I still had like $2,000 left. And I used to be listening to this Beyonce song, you know, when she be like, you a bad girl and your friends bad too. So long story short, whenever I need to manifest some money and my body is 80% water, all I got to do is listen to that song. Because the water in my body remembers that that song equals money. If you want to apply this, think of a time that you felt really, really good and think about the music that you were listening to during that time. And you're going to take 2 or 3 days and you're going to listen to that song as much as you can on repeat. Number 5 is best case scenario journaling. It is exactly what it says. Every day you're going to get up and you're going to write out the best possible scenario for the day that could happen. And you're going to expect for those things to happen. It may take like a week or two for it to catch up, but you will see miraculous results with this method. So number 6 is identity shifting. This is the only thing that I teach, is the only service that I offer, because nothing works better than identity shifting. So there are a couple steps to do this. I already have videos that completely break down this process. So much free information on my page. But let me give you a real quick way to shift your identity if you don't want to do all that. So all you have to do is pick a person off of a show or a movie. It really doesn't matter, but pick a person that you feel embodies something that you want. When I say that, if you want to be rich, pick a character that you feel like is rich, and you're going to play that character all day long. If somebody asks you a question, you're going to answer as if you're that person. So if I wanted to embody Carrie from Sex and the City, when somebody asks me a question, I'm going to ask myself, what would Carrie say? The next thing is shift realities, and we are going to be undercomplicating that as well. So if you have ever watched this movie called The Truman Show, then guess what? That's what life is. And the way you're going to jump off of this timeline and jump into another one that is closer to your manifestation, you are going to do something completely out of the ordinary. And this doesn't have to be extraordinary. It just needs to be something that you don't typically do. Since this video is all about the lazy way, let me give you an example. If every single day you get up and you go to work and you take 5th Street, you're simply going to start taking 4th Street to work every day. If you go to Starbucks every day and you order a grande, then you're going to get a venti. Even though this seems unrelated, it's going to completely change your point of attraction, and it's going to bring in new unexpected things. Because what you're doing here is you're confusing the matrix. The current reality where you don't have what you want is loosening its grips on you. I can guarantee you that the first day you do this, that something out of the ordinary is going to happen, and that is going to be your sign that you are shifting timelines. So rewriting your dominant thoughts, this is the second most powerful method and probably the second most laziest way to do it.